Hi, everybody. Rebecca at the Chilton Public Library, and I am here with Glenny, and we have our May Cook the Book. And this month, we are focusing on the upcoming summer harvests with sensational salads. So I'm going to move over and let Glenny talk to you a little bit about why salads are so important to our program today.
Hi everyone, Glenny here. And this time of year is always that time of year where we've been eating soups and stews and heavy wintry things, and we've been holed up, and it's been getting warmer, and things are poking out of the ground like asparagus. And it's a time of year where, at least for my husband and I, we love salads. At the end of the day, it's sort of like, and we go out and we pick and we forage and we put things together and we make wonderful salads and take great satisfaction in eating them. And with but you can also kind of get in a rut coming out of winter about, okay, salads, how did I do that? And winter salad is pretty much the bag of greens, maybe some red onions, maybe some blueberries and a little bit of feta, or, that would be one salad, but you can kind of get rutted out with what's available at your grocery store. And with the growing season coming, we're going to watch our farmers market and our grocery store explode with wonderful things. So, and I know my garden is beginning to explode with wonderful things. So, to get out of my rut today, I actually tried 2 recipes for salads. One featuring fennel. I've never used fennel before. I'd admired it. I've looked at it. I've never chopped it up and done anything really with it other than fennel seeds and curries and things. And then I did another one. You'll see later. But Heather, why do you like salads?
I love salads just because there's so much variety. You can change it up and suit your taste, suit your preferences. If you don't like kale, don't put kale in your salad. Find spinach, find arugula, find something else that's more exciting to you. If you don't like tomatoes, don't put tomatoes in your salad, but find something else. Mushrooms, radishes, carrots, celery, broccoli, cauliflower, anything that could be exciting. Mix in some fruits. So a lot of options with salads.
Mm-hmm.
So we are lucky today. We actually have, as you saw, a special guest today, and this is Heather Thiry. She is from the Calumet County Health Department, and I'm going to let Heather talk a little bit about what she does at the health department and those kind of things real quick. So go ahead, Heather.
Excellent. Thanks, Rebecca. So my name is Heather Thiry, as they've both mentioned. I'm a health educator with Calumet County Public Health. Part of my work that I do as a health educator with the county is supporting our UCAN coalition, which is kind of why I got tied into this program here. Our UCAN coalition is the Calumet County Activity and Nutrition Coalition, where we focus on healthy eating, physical activity, just anything to kind of help reduce those incidences of chronic disease and just to have our community members be safe and healthy. So that's kind of one piece of what I do at the county.
That's your main.
That was
probably prior to this past year.
Correct, exactly.
So at some point you'll be transitioning back to
regular, business.
So we were really excited that we were able to have a guest today because we think that Heather really has some valuable input, especially when it comes to salads. Because a lot of people, right, when they think about eating healthy or getting healthier, salads is usually the first thing that people talk about. So my book that I chose for salads is Salad a Day by Georgeanne Brennan. And now, as we all know, over the course of these last 5 Cook the Books, I've been talking about meal prepping, as well as, making things a little bit easier. And salads are ones that I really fall into a rut of it. Pretty much at home, it's like a baby spinach, some tomatoes, cucumbers, maybe some cheese, and some dressing. And this Williams-Sonoma book, is 365 days of different salads. And while it's not meal prepping, it was definitely meal planning. And so I really enjoyed the book. I wasn't quite so sure if I was going to. Most of the books that we've chosen in the past have a lot of detailed information in regards to how do you store it, how do you prep it, those kind of things. This book is a down and dirty, it is just recipes. It takes you right in There is no like, welcome to this book. This, you will love the wonderful, refreshing salads. It is like, bam, January 1st, here is your recipe. So I really kind of enjoyed kind of that aspect. It's really just like telling you what to do.
What is January 1st?
January 1st is actually fennel salad with blood orange and arugula.
Wow,
So like the book is laid out in date order, right? So it starts with January, and it has each section, it has its calendar, and it tells you what the recipes are going to be, the salads, and then what pages you'll find them on. This one did not have a ton of photos, so not every recipe has an accompanying photo, but what photos it does have, they're really bright, they're colorful. You really kind of get an idea as to what some of the salads will really look like. What was also nice of it, there's a lot of variety. I mean, we're talking like, 365 salads is an awful lot of salads. But they seem to pair them with what would normally be seasonally available fruits and vegetables and some meats on there. Most of the items I was able to find everything at our local Walmart in town here. So it was easy to find the ingredients for them or make an easy substitution if you couldn't find it. So I really did like that as well. So I figured, of course, today is May 27th. So what better way to go ahead and do the May 27th recipe. So I'm going to show you that. I have that one already plated up on there, so we'll show that one. And that was the grilled asparagus and prosciutto salad. I love prosciutto. I like asparagus. I believe, not a gardener, but I've been getting fresh asparagus from Glenny from time to time this last few weeks. So I know that it is generally right around this time of year. So asparagus is going to be one of those things that is readily available. This recipe did call for baby greens. I just used baby spinach because that's what I had at home. So I didn't go out and buy a specific dish for that. And that one was really easy. Now, this recipe does not, and none of these do, they don't give you any prep time idea. So you're on your own in figuring out like how long this is going to take to make. Generally, one would think that most of the prep time on the salads wouldn't take too long. The longest item that was for prepping this was grilling the asparagus. And Glenny grilled it for me, and she just used our indoor grill, so because it's raining. And it was really easy. It took 8 minutes. In that time, we were able to like make the dressing, have it all shaken out, and that kind of stuff. The other recipe that I did, because it is going to be that season very shortly, is strawberries. And I love strawberry spinach salad. And they have one for June 15th, so just a few weeks away. And I'm actually going to finish off, we didn't finish yet, the poppy seed vinaigrette dressing that came with this dish. So, and this one had a picture, so you can kind of see it right there. So I'm going to quick switch over the camera over so that Glenny, I'm going to slowly talk about that as I go back to that page because I need to double check the recipe for the poppy seed salad there. Let's go, June 15th. At least I knew where I could find it right away. So I'm going to switch the camera over, and then I'm going to showcase the asparagus one real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to do the poppy seed salad. So we're going to transition over. There we go. So you can see right here is the asparagus and prosciutto salad. It was I just laid it on a bed of baby spinach, and this one was just the baby spinach, the prosciutto, the grilled asparagus with some Parmesan cheese, and then it had a Dijon mustard vinaigrette dressing on there. And then the poppy seed. So I have the baby spinach already prepped for that. And we're going to quick do the dressing for that. So I'm just going to slide this. And, it looks like I'm perfect there. So this dressing has mostly grapeseed oil on there. I don't know. Heather might be able to step in. Can I substitute? Do you think one could normally substitute another oil with grapeseed oil?
You could.
So if you didn't have grapeseed oil, or you didn't want to buy, the Walmart in town here has it's a very big bottle of grapeseed oil. So I would definitely recommend that if you're not sure you're going to use it, then maybe try to find a different oil to use. So it uses a half, so to that grapeseed oil, we are going to take some dried mustard, and it calls for some sugar. I thought we had more sugar at the library than we did. All we had was our little coffee packets, so I'm going to be using coffee packets, but they are still the same sugar, just a little bit more wasteful. It calls for a little bit of salt and pepper. And it calls for some poppy seeds. And let's see. And then the other dressing, or other part of that dressing, is a rice wine vinegar. And then we just have to whisk it up. Now, some of these I've seen, a lot of the strawberry spinach salads I've seen with like a lemon poppy seed dressing. So I'm not honestly sure how this is going to turn out. I would assume it would turn out pretty decent. And so I have the baby spinach. I'm going to just, here, we're going to just throw a few strawberries on there. And I believe the farmer's market in town here actually starts up next week. So it'll be a perfect time to try out some of these dressings. Right? And I just bought some, what I did is I bought some honey roasted pecans and just chopped them up. The recipe itself calls for you just buying some pecans and then like heating them up in your oven. But I think if anybody has watched any of these videos, I think we've all learned that I will always have at least one of the items not be as labor intensive, because sometimes I just don't have the time to do that. And I'm just going to take, because I didn't put this in a jar, I'm just going to take this teaspoon and I'm just going to drizzle that dressing right on there. And you can see, I think this took me, maybe a minute and a half, honestly, to put that dressing together. And I did plate it, but that was pretty much it. The recipe also called for the fact that you could add some cheese to that, maybe some goat cheese. It states some ricotta, maybe. Let's see, what else did it maybe suggest on there? There was one other cheese in there. But I can't seem to find it.
Parmesan or feta, maybe.
Oh, maybe Parmesan or feta. Most likely the feta. So they were both two really easy dishes. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I definitely feel that these would be dishes that my family would eat. I think that the strawberry spinach one would be a great dish for kids who maybe are like, ooh, salad. To get them that started will have that sweetness to it. So I really did enjoy the book. That one, the 365 Days Salad a Day book, will be available after this program to be able to either check out or put on hold. And I'm going to move over now to Glenny and let her talk about her books.
Hi, everyone. So thanks, Rebecca. That was a lot of fun. So Food 52, Mighty Salads, brand new book. And that's on our display currently here at the library as well. If you come in and look for the salad display, there's all kinds of books with dressings and salads and that kind of a thing. So I chose this one, which also is, they organized it by kinds of salads. They did leafy salads, less leafy salads. Let's find it. So they did leafy salads, which is familiar, green, lots of green. Then less leafy salads with things like, think mushrooms and grilled eggplant and more vegetables, more like vegetable-y featured rather than greens so much necessarily. And then they had another one, toasted farro and asparagus salad was in a section, which would have been this one here. Grain and bean salads. So we forget things like, traditionally, I think the most common one we think of is maybe tabbouleh or a curried rice salad. I love wild rice salads with apples and nuts and things in it, peppers. So more of a grain, a heartier salad with grains and beans for your protein. And then we have this other, because then they had pasta and bread salads. So like in the Middle
That's my
East.
salad.
Yeah, some pasta salad. Who doesn't like that, right? So lots of different kinds of pasta salads. And then bread salads, often in Italy, they'll chunk up, and in France, chunk up some bread and throw it in at the end with stuff. And then there was this fattoush. Say that. Fattoush. I didn't make that this time, but I'm going to go home and make that tomorrow night. That had chunked up bread in this curried wonderful thing that looked delicious. But then they also had things like, get ready, seafood salad. So things like a shrimp salad or a crab salad or this looks like a bouillabaisse, so maybe a cold multi-seafood thing, or ceviche. I don't know if anybody's familiar with ceviche, which is raw yumminess with that's pickled in like lime juice and garlic. And then back at the last chapter section is meat salad. Meat salad. So that, which would be one of the ones you made, had, I think, prosciutto things. So it still had greens and things like that in it, but topped with bacon or savory, yummy bits of deliciousness to augment the vegetableness if you happen to be a carnivore. So then the one I made for today, and I already prepped it, and this is an example of, I said, Glenny, I'm going to follow the recipe because I never do, and I'm just going to try to follow the recipe, right? Well, I tried really, really hard to follow the recipe, and it calls for butter crunch bib lettuce. Well, they were out, so I got the mixed colored vegetable, the mixed one, and then the avocados were all hard, or they were dark brown and gappy and bad. So I was like, that's not going to work. And then, but they did have beets. They had eggs. We had eggs. I couldn't find the really delicious, wrinkly, dry olives, but instead I used the Greek Kalamata because everybody has those. So I changed it a little. And do we have that?
I can transfer it over.
Can we transfer it over?
Yes.
And then I'll put this down and I'll let you see the picture. And instead of, can you see this?
Yes, we can.
So instead of the avocado, I used some marinated artichokes, and I had beets, and I had blue cheese, and I had the different colored lettuces, and I used the Kalamata. So pretty much, and I arranged it the way they had it, just using slightly different things. And then the dressing was very interesting. So the dressing, which we will anoint, we can anoint that right now. Let's do it. The dressing is one I had never made before because it included a hard-boiled egg and an hard-boiled egg yolk. So I liked the fact that it was, so we can go like this. Also, if you're having a salad like this, to have it in different piles, then people can pick and choose what they want. So I liked that as a feature if you were going to be serving more than just two of you and you knew, if you're having friends over, you could say, oh, I'll arrange it like this and everybody can serve themselves, which is a wonderful thing. The other salad that I made, was, as I mentioned earlier, the white bean salad with fennel 3 ways. And that's here. So I took cannelloni beans and great northern beans and 2 bulbs of fennel, which I, with a mandolin, thin, and then half of a bulb I minced up with sliced lemon and olive oil that you broil in the oven, and that's like this lemony punch that gets grilled and mixed in at the end. And the dressing was, and then it has Calavetrano light green olives that aren't stuffed. And I think that it was just a lemon and olive oil, salt and pepper kind of a thing with a little touch of red pepper. So those are the 2 I made, which I thought would mix and match rather nicely to have a meal, a nice summer meal like that. So those are the salads that I made. Now, those are like dinner salads that you would make at home and then maybe pack up for lunch the next day. But Heather has some really good ideas about maybe like how you would portably pack your salad and have handy salads ready to go.
Sure, great. So, I'm married. Both my husband and I work full time. We've got, 3 kids, teenagers, young adults. So we're busy. You're doing everything you can. You're going from work to activities, things like that. So prep is a big thing for our family. One thing you can do is, plan ahead of time. How can we prepare our salads at the beginning of the week so we can just grab and go as we need to, and you're still eating healthy on the go. So picking the right container is a good start. Something that's going to stack easy in your fridge, something that you can, easily fit into your lunch bag, something that's going to hold all the ingredients that you need. And then do some layering. Start with your dressing at the bottom of the container, or put it on the side if you don't want to add it right away. And then start with your fruits and veggies, the hard vegetables, things like that. Put those in first. And then add your beans, proteins, things like that. And then add in your leafy greens, the things that you don't want to have get squished. Put those at the top. And you can seal it up. You can use a mason jar if you don't want to go invest in a bunch of new cookware or containers for your kitchen. And then go ahead and put like croutons and things on the side. And then once you're ready, you just grab it, go put it in your lunch bag, and then empty it onto your plate or into a bowl and put your dressing on or your soft things, and you're good to go with a healthy meal.
That is really nice, right? I see all those like beautiful photos on like Pinterest of like the mason jars and all that, and I always worry, like is like my spinach or my lettuce going to get all like soft and soggy? Because I just don't like that. I don't mind mixing other things, but that is the one thing. But I guess that layering must really help if you have that dressing at the bottom with those more harder vegetables.
Yep. And I like to add my dressing on top of the container and then shake. Do the shaky.
Yep.
And then dump, because otherwise I add a lot of dressing.
Yes. Pre-measuring is important for some of us.
I like my dressing.
It really is. Well, I want to thank Heather for joining us for Cook the Book this month. We are going to look at maybe having other featured guests at other programs that we have. Next month, we are actually going to move outside of our comfort zone in regards to the skill level that we have, but maybe within our comfort zone of what we like to eat. And we are going to attempt to do sushi rolls. So we're going to see how well that goes. That could be
very entertaining.
Yeah, it could be very, very entertaining. I think I'll be
tasty.
I think I'll be practicing making sushi rice this weekend, so that and then start practicing some rolls. It's been a long time since I've done some. I think it's been like 3 years since I took a class on it and never actually really reused that skill. So what a great way to start it off. So we want to thank you all for joining us today. All the 2 books that Glenny and I talked about are going to be available right away to be able to put on hold and to pick up today if you are the lucky person to come get it. Otherwise, we have a whole table of other salad books that you can check out. And we hope to see you guys next month. Our summer learning program sign-up starts on Tuesday, June 1st. And we'll be kicking it off Father's Day weekend with our Father's Day craft. And then on that Monday, I believe that is June 21st, Glenny will be running her first summer learning program, a mindfulness and me program for kids. Kindergarten through 5th grade is the primary focus. And we're going to be running that outside. All of our programs this summer will be outside programs. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Heather, so much for gracing us with your help, because I think you had a lot of really good value-added information for us for this program. You guys all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.